Okay, overall you've done a lot of work and it's good. Um, Everything's detailed, your mind map. Alright, you started off a little bit like I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm just going to try anything. But that's totally fine. What I would do though is like I would try and add in your shutter speed or your aperture values on these initial pictures, and obviously you've shot with wider angle here. So you use the wide angle lens to capture the landscape. Well, here you've either zoomed in or you've used a different lens. So kind of put that in. This is where it really kind of starts and you start developing. This is excellent. We can see that you're setting things up, so forth. Again, maybe put in an aperture value on one picture at least per page, so the examiner can see that. Again, this was all good. You've done it there, that's good, f16, but that's the aperture, but you've also used a fast shutter speed to freeze it, so put the shutter speed in. Natural framing's nice. So all this is just investigate. Well, it's kind of responding, trying things out. All this is good, it's all valid. Again, low vantage point, good. Put in some aperture values again on these. This is good here as well. Like how we've gone from standing things up to knocking them down. So you're showing experimentation. Again, all this is good. So this is the apple degrading over how long? A few days. Okay, so I would maybe actually have it here like week 1, week 2, week 3, just on one of them. This was obviously an important photographer. Now, when you've gone down to here, there is no shutter speed or aperture values. When we had to use you had to use manual mode. You had like 1/200th of a second at f11, but if that isn't here, then you're not really showing that you use manual mode. And also a lighting diagram would be perfect. Okay, so if you know the lighting diagram creator, this is free. It's called lightingdiagrams.com. You've used this before? Okay, so create a lighting diagram and just stick it in this corner here. This is showing here. And what have we captured? We've got light and dark. We've got this chiaroscuro effect, haven't you? So I will just put a little label there. This is fine. This is all showing that. Here you've got a setup shot. So what was this called? This was a snoot. And what does it do? Focuses a light, yeah. So you might write, I used a snoot on the light to create a very focused pool of light that only hit the bottles and everything outside went to darkness. You've shown it here, but by actually having a few notes it'll be really good. So that was excellent. These are all superb, really nice development. Then Istanbul. Now these, you put a lot of photographs in here, and this does go on quite a lot. Not that that's a problem, but because there isn't really any written work at all, you kind of just go set after set after set. So, but what I would do is I wouldn't take anything out, but I would actually put some labels. Low horizon line Grand Mosque, artificial light in the square, because here it's a night light. Portrait composition, foreground background elements. I'll just try and come up with a couple of lines, not every picture but maybe every other picture. And although this image took too much attention, it's like a touristy picture of an Istanbul souvenir. I wouldn't have it so big. It's like you've got better pictures, you don't need that really big. All these are great, and even if you just put in some values as well, like f8 or f9, showing that you've got a deep depth of field to capture everything. So yes, there was a lot. I mean, that's a really nice shot. Right, and now you come to this section here, right? But there's absolutely nothing that tells me, or it notifies me as to why you've used a real model, and did you create this model. And you could say you did create the model, and I've used artificial light because I'm trying to create, I'm linking this back in with the guy before, but also some of these buildings, like this minaret here, and that structure is fairly similar. So you could do this by simply coming back up to the top. And I know it might sound, oh well, I've already done it, but because it was so long ago, you could take this image again and you could copy it and you could bring it down into this section here and you could paste it in. And this viewpoint that you've captured here is like the viewpoint you captured, where's it gone? Like here from underneath, it's the same viewpoint. So you're making links, but have the picture in there next to it. So you're kind of showing, well, I've got more, and these are great. All these pictures are really good, but again, there's no aperture value settings, and there's no lighting diagram here. So on the first page of the first image, you know, I'd have like a lighting diagram, kind of like a behind the scenes thing of how you did it. And here you've purposely created light like the sun. This is lens flare. Put a label on there. Purposeful capture of lens flare to create atmosphere. And this is light fall off. You know, a snoot used to create a harsh spotlight, but also create light fall off going to black. So it's like disappearing to black. These are like these kind of sophisticated techniques that you use, and they get you to that higher level. All this is wonderful. Alright, so here you've kind of backlit it. So this is called a rim light, because you've just got the rim or the edge in highlight. So you put that in, experimenting with backlighting to create edge highlight, high chiaroscuro effect. And then you've got this other mosque. So you could, right now I've found another mosque, and this was made, but I've combined the building with bottles now, because I'm bringing my ideas together. So all this is good. Top view, again, great. I would probably bring one of these in with some of the pictures of the mosques that you did previously. So I have a picture of the mosque, and I have a picture of your bottle, and I have a picture of that other model, and then you say I brought them all together because now I've got a model, a mosque, and you know, I've got these buildings, and I've done it all myself. So I'd put that in. And then you've got all your textural element again. Some aperture values would be good. I don't think you need really much explanation here, because it's pretty obvious what you've done. A lot of pattern work, tons of work really. Anyway, what?
Like expand on to do my own kind of thing and an art.
Yeah, we're gonna get there now. So you've come down here, bam, 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 bam. Okay. So what I would do is to break this up, I would put in words like tradition, calligraphy, curvilinear, cultural, mosaic, repetition, pattern, ornate, intricate. All these just think of words that link to these pictures and put a word in. Now, alright, so this was the coming together of pictures from before, right? This links in with Islamic art and tessellation, doesn't it? And the coming together of geometry. But there's nothing there that's telling me that. So talk about geometry, talk about tessellation, and how Islamic patterns never end because they're infinite. That will then, and even have an example of it on the sheet, and then the examiner will go, I see why she's done that. Okay? And now I see why she's done this. And then you've got the whole, you've got all of these, which you didn't put in. You didn't get time, alright? And if you look at all of these, there's some really nice ones. I put them all in, every single one of them, but probably the one that I liked the most was this. Okay, so this is this is what we're going to develop. We want to find an artist who has done black and white abstract work. That's going to be our final artistic link that justifies why we've done this. And I'd like to see maybe like 10 of these, but they'd be printed like maybe A5 in size, and we'd have 10 of them in a row. So they're like mosaic tiles, all connected by calligraphy and words. It look beautiful. This project is an A, but it should be an A star, and it will be once it's gone through that process. Okay, so if I was to give you a grade now, I'd say this is a B plus, A minus, but when it's complete and we've done everything, it should be an A star, especially when we develop this idea further. And you've got a lot of nice developments in here already, which just need putting in. You know, there's so much nice stuff going on. And a beautiful thing is it's all linking with everything you've done. So it's a nice journey, and you can see how it's developing. So that's your feedback, really. Are you happy with that?